Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Be Inspired. This is Elise Hill, and in our podcast, we were asked by the lovely Carol to interview people from our past. I have chosen my buddy Floyd Collins. Hi, Floyd. Welcome to our podcast.
Hello, Elise. Thanks for having me.
Of course. So, obviously, not everyone at Heidelberg knows your wonderful self. So, if you would like to, feel free to introduce yourself. Tell us what you do.
Sure. All right. So my name is Floyd Collins. I do many things. I am a digital media technology instructor for 22 years. I dabble in digital media as far as when you talk about film, you talk about audio, all those different things like that. And I teach all that. I'm also a professional magician. And I'm also a director, and I direct theater. I also am one of the people that helps out with the youth and the teen theater at Fremont Community Theater.
Wonderful. Floyd is my buddy there at FCT, and that I actually first met Floyd at Kids Camp. I was not part of the magician camp, unfortunately, that happened after theater camp, but I was always just so jealous watching everyone show those cool card tricks that you taught.
Cool. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, and that was like, that's one of the things that I'm really proud of is that we were able to bring in, the performance arts along with the theatrical arts, and we were able to merge those two with the youth. And I'm glad that you said that you really enjoyed that, because I thought it was very important that students got to see all sides of theater. We do dance and we do singing and musical, that sort of thing. But to do the performance side where you're actually up there performing a skill set like magic is a little bit different. So it's really cool that you brought that up.
Yeah, I totally agree. There are so many different elements in theater, and I just think it's really important that everyone knows those different elements. All right, so our first question for you today is, how did you know that the arts were for you?
Right. So it started for me back when I was really, really young. I did some plays when I was like in elementary school, and of course, they were the Christmas type plays where I got to play Joseph, and there were plays where you really didn't have a lot of lines, but it was a lot more acting and putting on the costume and that sort of thing. And then when I was about 10 years old, I really got into magic. And my sister for Christmas bought me a magic kit. My oldest sister bought me a magic kit. And I really just dived into it. And I was doing little magic shows for my friends. And anybody that would watch me do a card trick, I was doing card tricks. And then when I was 13 years old, I did my very first stage show. And for me, that was, I think, the big hook when I did my first stage show, and everybody came back and said, "Oh, wow, that is so cool, the things you were doing with your magic." And that kind of propelled me, and I just did more and more and more. And even later on in my adult years, I did many, many different shows on many different stages, and I got to learn many different things about theater. But I think that what really hooked me in was in my younger years, and just getting out of that shell and standing in front of an audience and doing something that I know that at any second could screw up and I could be like embarrassed by, but not worrying about that, but more or less worrying about making sure that I'm entertaining people. And I think for me, that's what it's all about. It's about the entertainment value. And when I look into my audience, I see people that want to go on a journey. And if I can take them on that journey and get them to forget about their troubles, if only for a short couple hours of their day, to me, that is the true magic of theater. And so it doesn't matter if I'm up there being in a play, or a maitre d', or I'm in a musical, whatever it is, and I'm in an ensemble. It doesn't matter what it is I'm doing on the stage. I'm taking people to another place. And to me, that is the true magic of the arts, and why I fell in love with it. And it goes all the way back. I recognized this when I was 13 years old.
I absolutely agree with that. I think that the theater is very magical, and it just takes you to so many different places. So my next question for you today has two parts. The first part is, what has inspired you to stay in the arts? And the second part is, how do you feel the arts can inspire others?
Right. Well, for me, I think what inspired me to stay in the arts is, growing up, I found that I was one of those kind of kids that didn't express myself very well. But when I was on stage and I was performing, I was actually able to express myself in a different way. And anytime that I felt like I really needed to touch that side of who I am, I would find a stage, and doing magic, I could do it pretty much anywhere. And I would find a crowd, which I can find anywhere, and I would do my magic. So I think that what kept me in the arts is that I diversified. When I was in college, I studied film, and I later became a digital media teacher where I teach film, and I teach people how to create video. And in that, you have to know lighting, you have to know sound, you have to know acting, you have to know script writing, you have to know the right angles. And so taking my directorial background with film and then now relating it to the stage, the difference is live. Not every show is the same, and you can't cut and edit and put it in the post process and do all those things with what's going on stage. But that's what kept me going, was that challenge of always being able to perform no matter what, and touching that side of me that I really enjoy. And your second part of that was?
The second part is, how do you feel the arts can inspire others?
1 second. Sorry. Sorry about that. I feel like the arts can inspire other people because you have to find that reason, right? You have to find that reason that you want to be part of it. And it may not be that you're the person that wants to be out there memorizing scripts and doing the shows. You may be somebody who is backstage running the lights or being the stage manager. I think whatever it is you find, it's going to be a personal journey for you. And I think that what can inspire anybody is to just try it and see if you like it, and come and be part of a show, even if it is at a community theater and you're going to usher, or you're going to be working up in the sound booth or behind the stage, whatever it is, be part of the culture. And I think that once you see the culture, you'll find your niche and what it is that you really like about the arts.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. I know at FCT, I've stage managed for a couple of your shows, and we deal with a lot of the teens. And I feel like so many of the teens at FCT have found their niche backstage. And I think it's truly amazing that we've given them those opportunities.
Yep.
So my last question for you today is, what is one thing you wish you could tell your younger self to better prepare for your future?
I think I would tell my younger self to let things go. And what I mean by that is, when I was younger, I was very meticulous about every single thing that I did as a performer. And as a performer, I was almost OCD about what I was doing. And I feel like I spent a lot of time worrying about that and not enough time understanding show structure as far as how to bring the peaks and valleys into a show. And I later on figured that out, that if I can just be myself, people like me, and if I can just be myself on stage and let that part of me go, I'm more comfortable and I do much better, right? So I think what I would tell my younger self is, people are going to like you. And if you mess up, they're not going to know, because only you are going to know. And I think a lot of fear and a lot of anxiety went into worrying about, if I get out there and mess up, right, people are going to know it. Guess what? They don't. If I drop a line, they really don't. The director knows, okay? But majority of people don't know. And the other thing that is so important about this is, I would say to myself, you have other people there to support you. You're not alone on that stage, even though it feels like it. And you can have 40 people in the cast and still feel alone on that stage. You're not alone. And I would tell my younger self that, because I have dropped lines, and then whoever is coming behind me would pick them up, or we would improvise live on stage. And that's just what makes it so magical about theater is everybody is together into this one project to do something and make it the best they can. And I would tell my younger self, don't worry so much, you know?
That is such a unique piece of advice. I know that in interviewing other people, they have had so many different answers, and that is definitely one answer that I'm going to take as a younger self.
Oh,
Well,
good, good.
thank you everyone for tuning in today with Be Inspired. I'm Elise Hill, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you, Elise.
And introduce yourself. My name is Michael with a B, and I've been afraid of insects my entire life. Stop. Where? Where's the bee? There's a bee?